Yeah, that's not clickbait, folks. We are talking about $2,000 monthly recurring stimulus checks. As I said in my video yesterday, there were actually 50 members of Congress on board that co-signed this letter to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, pushing for monthly recurring stimulus checks. So how close is it to actually happen? Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome to the Late Night Grind, a new YouTube channel. I started to cover these stimulus check updates because it's of real interest to me. So if you're new to this channel, go ahead, click that subscribe button and also click the notification bell icon so that you'll be notified when I release a new video. And also don't forget, the best thing you can do to support a new YouTube channel like this is just by hitting that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, well, let's get into it. So the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, who came out with some kind of sobering statistics just yesterday, basically she said the bottom 20% of all income earners are still at depression level unemployment. Now, overall unemployment has made a significant comeback from March of 2020, but it's kind of plateaued and it's still really nowhere near where it was pre-pandemic. And so things like unemployment extensions and the unemployment insurance or the uninsurance boost has significantly helped out with that. But there's still a lot of people that are on the lower end of the earning spectrum that are without jobs. Now, this is because of a couple of things. Number one, a lot of those jobs are actually in the hospitality, the restaurant, the service business, and a lot of those jobs just aren't coming back yet because a lot of local governments just aren't letting them open. One of the biggest things we can do, in my opinion, to help this stimulus is actually just to open up the economy as much as possible. The need for government assistance is then reduced dramatically. Back to what government's talking about. Now, this $2,000 recurring monthly income was actually talked about last year. It has really been ramped up now, especially in the past week or so, with so many in Congress pushing for it. Now that they see that the unemployment numbers are still not that great, and the studies that have been done on the previous stimulus checks, just seeing how fast they went out, especially for lower income earners, those stimulus checks were typically spent on bills and things within the first 10 days. So what are we looking at? Could we actually be looking at monthly stimulus checks? Well, actually, yeah. In my opinion, I think we could be. Because in Joe Biden's most recent, the American Rescue Plan, the plan that he most recently just rolled out, included things like he wanted to expand child tax credits, and one of the things that they talked about with those child tax credits was actually doing monthly payments rather than just giving a tax credit check or a tax credit refund at tax time. So they were already talking about doing that for children. They basically just said, listen, until the pandemic ends and everything is allowed to open up, there's a lot more people that need assistance. So the calls for monthly stimulus checks is going to continue to ramp up within the next week. As Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer both said, next week is going to basically be the beginning of when we have everything that we want in the bill. We're going to try and get a vote on it at the end of next week. Then it's going to be moved to the Senate, where they're still trying to talk to Republicans into voting for it, but most likely it's going to require the Democrats to use the Budget Reconciliation Act to push it through with just 51 votes. So looking at all the stuff that we've been talking about and what we went through with all these different stimulus check proposals and ideas and how it gets whittled down, typically that was done with with a mixed Congress. But now that the Democrats have much more control, they're being pushed by their progressive constituents to basically spend more money. But as we look at this versus past proposals, everybody thought that last year when we were talking about monthly stimulus checks, that, well, we didn't really need it because the economy is on an upswing. Well, now it seems like things have plateaued. The jobs numbers have plateaued. And a lot of things are going to rely on what the case numbers say and what the vaccine distribution looks like in terms of what people are going to do to open up the economy. But here's on the other side. We have Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, who has been pro-lockdown for everything. All of a sudden, just this week says we need to open up everything and we need to do it now or there's going to be nothing left. And on the other side of the coast, you have Governor Cuomo, who's the governor of New York, saying we need to open up everything ASAP. In fact, all indoor dining is now allowed starting Valentine's Day week. So it's going to be really interesting to see what that does to jobs numbers in February and what effect that has on everything. So as per what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden have said, we are looking at next week for them to have everything ready for a vote in the House of Representatives before it gets moved on to the Senate. Chuck Schumer has promised that they're going to work as quickly as they possibly can. I don't really know what that means. But in any case, please subscribe to these videos so you will make sure that you'll be kept up to date on all these developments. And I appreciate you watching this video. Don't forget to give this a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next video.